Okay, this is exciting because you're going to see someone, when you can brag but back it up, that means you're cool. This young lady held a national championship until she was unseated by a 6-year-old. Well, let's see a second. But sings in a choir, has aspirations one day to do the little recording thing. I think you're gonna do it. All right? Yes, you will. You come on out. Come on, come on out here. But here's what we're gonna find out. We're gonna get our title back from this 6-year-old kid. All right? Was he 6 or 7?
8.
8, okay. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get our championship back. Are y'all ready? It has been pre-mixed. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Hold on a second. Woogity, 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 woogity. Because the woogities throw her off. Woogity, woogity, woogity. Bang!
Okay.
Go!
It's weird that I've been on a stage solving a Rubik's Cube twice in my life, and I'm not even that good.
Nah, is that kid like 9 now? Or just like this happened
It
recently?
must be like 11, 12. He got beaten also.
So now you can punch him?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, but that was pretty cool. Can any of y'all do that?
No.
Stop, put your hand out. You can't do that. What's your record? What's your record? A minute? All right, but you know what? I ain't gonna talk bad about you because you could give me like 14 days and a hammer. It ain't gonna happen anytime soon. But you want to show that off? That's pretty cool. Right? So y'all ask her about this. She's actually making a program that will show you all the possibilities and permutations. Are you really doing that?
Someday.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. Oh man, she can lie. Good, I like her. Please, bang your hands together for the awesome, talented Belen.
Hi. As you probably seen, well, as you probably can assume, I've been doing this for quite a lot of time. So I am a very visual person. So that's why we're going to talk about visualizing the impact of React Native's new architecture. So let's get started. My name is Belen Carozo. I am from Uruguay, so a 24-hour trip to get here. I work as a software engineer at Smart Labs. It is a local company based in Uruguay, like a product studio. We do consultancy. But what is actually great about Smart Labs is that they let me use time in all kinds of weird experiments and like useless things, such as the one that I'm going to show you. Well, I think they give me time to do this. I haven't asked. Well, but first I wanted to talk about the new architecture. So as you know, because of Gantt presentation, the new architecture, the React Native was released in 2015, and we've come a long way since then. One of the most important changes that has been done in the latest years to React Native was an architectural change. So you might be asking, why? What was wrong with the old architecture? So this is a pretty simplified diagram of the old architecture. So you had your JavaScript side on one side, and you had the native side on the other side, and I'm sure you can relate as React Native developers. That's how the native side looks like in your minds. well, at least until Madsen's workshop, that is how it looked like in mine. And those sides communicated through a bridge. But this bridge had some issues. For example, if you had like a heavy flow of data, you could have bottlenecks that hurt performance. Another problem with the bridge was that you had to pay serialization and deserialization taxes, because everything that went through the bridge was in JSON format. You had to parse it into JSON and then deserialize it on the other side, so that brought in a bit of overhead. And also, you had to wait for the responses from the native side, even if you didn't need it. Like, the JavaScript type always waited for an answer, even if it didn't need it. So, what changed? How was this fixed? Again, this is overly simplified. If you want to learn more about the new architecture, I recommend you take a look at the React Native official documentation about the new architecture, which is really good. But yeah, very simplified. There's an interface now that lets each side directly invoke methods on the other side. And there's also a new renderer that goes along with this, and a lot of other things you may know of. But yeah, take a look at the documentation if you want to learn more. And this improved because this got rid of the bottlenecks. This also, you don't have to pay serialization and deserialization taxes now. And you don't have to wait for an answer from the native side if you don't need it. But you as developers, right? You may be asking, why should I update? We know that we have to update, right? Right? He's telling you too. We know that we have to, because if we don't, maybe some issues will appear in the future because of things not being maintained. We also want to gain advantage of all the new features, of like the newer versions. We want to keep our code up to date. But maybe you have like a little voice inside of you, or maybe that voice is like a client or a product owner or something that is telling you, well, I mean, it can take a lot of time. Everything is working now, so why should we risk it? We don't want things to break. And surely the performance improvements won't be very noticeable. So that's what I wondered too. I wanted to see if the performance improvements were something that you could see visually, that you could perceive. If you had two apps side by side, you can notice a difference. So I decided to investigate. And this is the experiment I created. I created a fight between two apps. You have, on one side, you have the old architecture app. It was created using React Native 0.68. That's because I wanted to have everything that surrounded that version, not only like the new architecture turned on. And you have on the other side the new architecture, which has a version of React Native of the 0.74.2. But other from that, both apps have exactly the same code, even the same compiled SDK versions, target SDK, everything else. I try to keep the same. And I decided to test this on a Samsung J3. I don't know if you have used this. I don't know if this phone even made it to the US, to be honest. But it is a pretty bad low-end Android device that came out in 2018. So you can imagine how bad it is. And that's gonna be our ring, right, for the fight. And why? Because I wanted to, first of all, I thought that the performance improvements, if there are any, would be more noticeable in a phone that really suffers from performance issues itself.